Hello YouTube, welcome back to the channel. So today we're reacting to Terrible Day for Weirdo Anime Tourist by Hirohei. Hi, I don't know. I don't watch this channel often, but this video sounded interesting. So yeah, so if you're wondering what an anime tourist is, it's when a new it's a combination of a new anime fan and the weirdos on Twitter that complain and get offended about every fucking thing. That time that got offended by hot chicks in video games because the person complains an ugly lard ass that got offended that people want to smash a hot anime character rather than them, Jabba the Hutt, and then they whine on Twitter about it. Was that harsh? I mean, it's usually pretty accurate. But, it's that. Oh, Twitter. I hate Twitter. Anyway, let's start the video.
People hate these fake fans, these anime tourists. If you don't know
Yeah.
what this means, basically, someone who fairly recently got into anime, maybe over lockdown, but specifically comes to the anime community and starts complaining about everything being problematic and whining about blah blah blah.
Yeah, also keep in mind most of these tourists, the only animes they watch were like Attack on Titan, My Hero Academia, Demon Slayer, the ones that got super mainstream. Try watching another anime, asshole. Have you ever watched Samurai Champloo? Huh? Ghost in the Shell, Cowboy Bebop, Toradora, Noragami? Any of those? Any? No? Ugh. They're also like the type of people that complain about Fairy Tail having like, oh, it has fan service, it has boobies in it. I'm all, yeah. Except they exaggerate on Fairy Tail. It's not fan service every fucking second. The fan service happens after certain events. Like, I remember first time I saw the fan service in there, like, it's usually like some comical thing with one character, and then sometimes like after like an event in the story happens, like something bad that the viewer was probably upset about. They then have like fan service afterwards sometimes to cheer you up. But yeah. Oh yeah, and then there was Fire Force. Okay, I will say the fan service character's kind of annoying in Fire Force. She actually gets people killed. She's hot though. I'm not gonna lie. Hot, but yeah, she gets people killed. I recall. I didn't watch all of Fire Force, by the way. I just saw like a couple episodes. And then someone wouldn't shut the hell up and spoiled some stuff about it. Anyway, continuing.
This is offensive and this needs to be changed, and all this super really lame stuff. Basically, imagine a combination of a Twitter cop and a new anime fan.
Yeah.
That's essentially what creates a tourist. So yeah, tourist does not simply mean that you're new to watching anime. It's that combination of stuff essentially that we went over. And so over the last 24 hours or so, the tourists have been getting absolutely destroyed by the real fans over on Twitter. With all that context, let's take a look. So it essentially all started with people getting offended at the word waifu, which is obviously a really stupid thing to get offended by. Rock Solid making a tweet in response to one of the offended people saying COVID has been a disaster on otaku culture, which goes back to what I said earlier about the proliferation of these tourists occurring around the lockdown period, which also reminds me of back then when Tectone would make all these tweets about like Genshin waifus, and they're...
I need to reread that comment. We should eliminate otaku as a... First of all, fuck you. And second of all, otaku was a thing in Japan, basically, was like anime related stuff and whatnot. You're a weeb. You're not an otaku. A weeb is basically someone outside of Japan or whatever. Well, weeaboo was originally like a slur towards like someone in fucking, let's say like America, and you get called a weeaboo. It's because the original the original definition of weeaboo was someone who likes Japanese culture over their own and is super into it. So they go, "You fucking weeaboo," or something. It was meant as an insult. It's just now it's just called weeb, and people don't really care. But otaku was the original thing, which was basically in Japan, I believe. It was like anime fans and stuff like that in Japan. I don't know. I don't know the entire whole deal with that, but yeah, they're basically trying to say, "Oh, we need to get rid of otaku. It's holding anime as a fuck you, fuck off." Ugh.
Otaku culture, which goes back to what I said earlier about the proliferation of these tourists occurring around the lockdown period, which also reminds me of back then when Tectone would make all these tweets about like Genshin
Right.
waifus, and there would just be there'd be like infinite seething in the responses. People
Hey guys, my Genshin waifu is Eula. You know, blue hair, and I'll just I'll just say 2B ish. I remember the Genshin fandom got offended by that character because of her backstory as her ancestors were evil. I think they were like slavers or something.
getting so mad at him for using that term. Anyways, Rock Solid then got this response that talks about wanting to eliminate the word otaku as a concept, saying that it's holding anime back.
No,
And
it
the
isn't.
responses are filled with people saying that no, actually, tourists should be eliminated from the anime community. It's the tourists that are really holding things back. So I guess
Yeah,
we know that
yeah.
tourists are not only offended at the word waifu, but also otaku. Septon
Keep in mind also, tourists were probably the people that would mock people for liking anime. They were basically the assholes that would be all, "Oh, you're like in high school, they find out you're into weeb shit, they're all, "Oh, you fucking weeaboo," or they would be all, "You nerd, stop watching cartoons, dumbass," or some shit like that. And then they would try to start shit, and then now they decide, "Oh, I like anime now." And then they get offended by everything because, different culture and stuff. Come on.
then making this tweet with over 10,000 likes that reads, "They got really mad at me for this one," reposting this image that says, "How to spot an anime tourist."
Okay. Hold on. Let's have a look real quick. Only watches Naruto, One Piece, Dragon Ball, and other. Yeah, see. Attack on Titan, Demon Slayer, and My Hero Academia got a lot of tourists. Likes anime because it's trendy. Oh god. Will join the anime fandom for the sake of police. Yeah, uh-huh. And that's why I don't have a Twitter. Berates you for liking something they don't like. That's just everyone on Twitter. Thinks fan service is sexist and drawings equate to real life. Oh yeah, I've met some fucking weirdos, and that's why I dislike VR chat, because I've seen like those weirdos go into VR also. In VR chat, I'm all. FYI, I believe the person I'm remembering was criticizing my dress up darling. You know that one fan service anime kind of, and was part of the Persona community. The Persona community has a shit ton of anime tourists, just so you know.
Only watches Naruto, One Piece, Dragon Ball, and other common anime shows. Only likes anime because it's trendy. Will join the anime fandom for the sake of policing others in the community.
Okay, I'm gonna test who's a tourist here. Anyone ever watched the anime Big O, or at least heard of it? That's an old one. Big O.
berates you for liking something they don't
I
like,
kind of want to
thinks
rewatch
fan
Big
service
O.
is sexist, and drawings equate to real life issues. Hey, you know what? It sounds like they would get along great with those weirdo Twitter feminists that we were talking about yesterday.
Yeah.
The ones who were all offended over that
Oh, I'm
Japanese
gonna
anime
have a
style
look at
ad.
that
And
video.
then there was this tweet with over 48,000 likes talking about all of this recent tourist stuff that says anime.
Hold on. Okay, let's read this. Anime fans are seen as weirdos. And then next, make our own subculture for ourselves. Normies during the pandemic realize anime is amazing. Yeah, that happened. Joins our cultures, tries to kick us out of our own spaces we built when they kicked us out of the normie space. To begin with, where did. Yeah. These are like the same people that hated you because you liked anime. Basically, they don't like anyone that doesn't like anything they don't. Like, they assume a lot of shit and they're fucking cringe. This is one reason why I always hated normies. Because shit like this. And yeah, believe it or not, there were even tourists in video games. They're all, oh, stop playing video games, you nerd. Go go to the field and go play with some balls. I'm talking about football. But yeah, and then now like everyone plays video games. And then there's some tourists that get offended by like, oh, GTA, you could drive drunk. By the way, that really happened. GTA 4 when it came out, there was a mothers association offended by GTA 4 because you could drive a car drunk. And then everyone said like their excuse was think of the children, and everyone's saying this game was never meant for children, so why are you complaining about this? It's rated M for mature. It was always meant for adults, so go away. You could still drive drunk in GTA 4. It's just they added dialogue where Nico says he shouldn't drive. Anyway, continuing.
Fans are seen as weirdos, make our own subculture for ourselves. Normies during pandemic realize anime is actually amazing, joins our culture, tries to kick us out of our own spaces we built when they kicked us out of the normie space to begin with. Where do we go? I would humbly make a correction to the last point there, because anime fans were never trying to like take anime into the normie space to begin with. It's
Yeah.
basically like anime fans made their own space and then the normies tried to invade it, which to be fair, the rest of the tweet does talk about. As for the question, where do we go?
Yeah. Also, these are the same people that complain about certain VTubers, like the a lot of times the anime tourists are also VTuber tourists. Like you know how like Gura got hate. A lot of well, one most of those are like VTuber tourists. They're either VTuber tourists or they're just so desperate for attention on fucking Twitter. Because I remember they criticized Gura's avatar for being short. And everyone's all, you guys are fucking weird. Shut the fuck up and get out of here. Who let you in? Who left the door open for these freaks? Ugh. And you know, ugh. I'm trying to remember. I was thinking of like when Iron Mask got hate. I'm all no, those were just regular normies, just probably not even into VTubers or anime.
Nowhere.
Just
The actual
parasocial
fans are
fucks.
still winning because they get to enjoy the medium more thoroughly. All these fake people are getting offended by everything and crying left and right. The tourist essentially has a losing proposition to begin with because all they do is look for the next thing to get offended by and then make some
Yeah.
sort of tweet desperately trying to get clout. And obviously that doesn't really
I never understood the obsession with people trying to get clout by complaining. Like, also, like, what is the what will they not do for clout at this point? Like, it's either they be assholes to people online for clout, they be assholes to people IRL for clout for their fucking streams, but you know, it didn't end well for Johnny Somali. And I just recently heard these two people that are like Johnny Somali that harass people in public got jumped in Japan, which I hope I can find a video on it, but you know. But yeah, I remember one VTuber I watched at one point said, at this point, like the way things are going, since some people are just doing anything for clout, some people think, oh, at some point someone's gonna like die on camera for clout. I don't. It's probably an exaggeration, but seeing as how I don't know. I'm just gonna continue. I could
Have
rant
done
on
much of
about that.
anything at all. They've pretty much already lost, in other words. We can see another example of this in the Western localizer stuff that's been going on, with more and more of these weirdos getting
Oh
replaced
my
by
god.
Japanese companies who prefer using machine translations over the localizers. So yeah, this was just a quick discussion on all this tourist stuff. I definitely think the anime community was better before it got so mainstream, and the mainstream stuff has brought a lot of terrible things for the community, such as all these tourist posers, and even like corrupt
Yeah.
Western companies trying to leech money off the industry. But despite that, I also think that the real
To all you tourists, I was a weeb before you even thought anime was cool. You only watched the normie shit. You literally just one day put on My Hero Academia. Well, basically, the tourists only watch all the mainstream, as he said. But I ran to a lot of them that were obsessed with My Hero Academia, Demon Slayer, and Attack on Titan. And then there's also Dragon Ball, Naruto. do do the tourists like Bleach? Oh, nah. They probably would be offended by Bleach because there's a bunch of anime titties in that one. But
fans are still winning. Let me know what you think in the comments. As always, thank you for tuning in. If you enjoyed my coverage, please consider liking and or subscribing. Appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next one.
alrighty,
People hate
okay. But yeah, that's Hero High, Hero Hey. I don't know how you pronounce his name. Good video, good video. Be sure to go check him out. And yeah. So what did we learn today? I'll tell you the lesson today. We learned that normies ruin everything, and their opinions should be disregarded because they're normies. Anyway, like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.